El Salvador. Rob, if you can pull up the clip of El Salvador's Bukele visiting the White House and saying he will not return a man the U.S. mistakenly deported. This is from the Reuters. Go for it, Rob.
Can President Bukele weigh in on this? Do you plan to return him?
Well, I'm supposed to have suggested that I smuggle
Stupid
terrorists
question.
into the United States, right?
It's always
how can I smuggle? How can I return him to the United States?
Stupid
Like,
question.
I smuggle him into the United States, or what do I do? Of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, I mean, the question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
So you could release him inside El Salvador.
Yeah, but I'm not releasing. I mean, we're not very fond of releasing terrorists into our country. I mean, we just turned the murder capital of the world into the safest country of the Western Hemisphere, and you want us to go back into the releasing criminals so we can go back to being the murder capital of the world? No, that's not going to happen.
Well, they'd love to have a criminal, released into
I mean, there's a fascination.
They would love it.
Yeah.
So, listen, though, they gave the president that stick. That's a stupid gotcha question that the media's got to get out of the habit of asking, which is just trying to expose what's the right question some to kind of ask? conflict. So, look, The right question is what? this is a much simpler situation than the one we were just talking about. Okay. Now, I don't know why he calls the guy a terrorist. That's not what this is about with this guy. Okay.
Well, Trump labeled anybody that's from a gang that's coming in here. Well,
right.
technically, I mean, if you think about it, Chris, technically they are. They cause terror. They kill. They sell drugs. They freaking kill women, children, everything.
Listen,
They're technically
I'm
MS-13
not
is
here
a
to
terrorist
defend
organization.
gangbangers.
Okay.
I'm with you. That's an easy argument to win.
All right.
What I'm saying is, technically, that's not what a terrorist is under our law. You know that. They got to be doing what they're doing to advance a political agenda. That's why people always get frustrated when we wait when a Muslim extremist does something violent here. But that's not my point. My point is this. This is simple, okay? It wasn't a mistake, all right? They didn't care about the hearing that he had coming up for his asylum claim. When this guy has his asylum claim, he is not going to get asylum. He has no legitimate basis for it. Well, I'm afraid they're going to kill me there. No. It has got to be a specific and articulated threat to you. He should be brought back, give him the hearing so you can prove that you respect due process, and he'll go right back. That's the end of this story. This is what I call a non-traversy to go after Trump, and he handed them the stick. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to get him. They're going to bring him back. Don't ask El Salvador's president. It's embarrassing for us. He's got nothing to do with it.
But apparently, so this guy that, mind you, CNN, not CNN, the majority of the mainstream media. So this guy, the government has found out that this guy has not only connections, he's probably in MS-13, and none of us know. But you know what they labeled him? A hardworking father departed and the family torn apart.
Maryland man, they call him. Maryland man,
exactly.
born and raised in El Salvador and a MS-13 gang member. Maryland man.
And mind you, and listen, he goes in, I don't know if we're going to show up, he goes in on Caitlin Collins and CNN, which I normally would be like, you know what, kind of, take it easy. But enough is enough. And I'm happy that he's doing it. Like, we're talking about, think about this. How many thousands of people have Homeland Security, Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, gotten the hell out of our country? I haven't heard of one illegal raping or murdering an American, okay, since Trump has been in. It's shocking, all right? It's amazing. So there's one guy that everybody's up in arms with, and they're making him seem just like when Trump in the first administration killed Soleimani, you know what they called him in the media? He was a freedom fighter, and they killed him. It's absolute horseshit, and CNN should be embarrassed. How many more BS stories are we gonna have to hear? They're worried about one freaking guy who was in a gang. And then Miller over here even explains, the guy went to court twice. They said he had a deportation order. That means you don't belong in here. Okay, and it's embarrassing, bro. In front of the freaking president who's saying, you want us to ship back a guy that's probably killed and murdered? Hell no, it's embarrassing.
Rob, what clip do you have?
So I have two of the clips that Vinny had mentioned where Trump calls out Caitlin Collins, if you'd like that. Then I also have Bukele offers the U.S. help to detain criminals. Another clip of Bukele praising Trump for the border crisis and asks him why the media won't report on it. And then finally, Stephen Miller debunking the narrative that the Maryland man should not have been deported to El Salvador.
Why don't you start off with the Caitlin Collins?
Cool.
Do you have any questions, please?
President Trump.
No, let's not start with
Mr. President.
CNN. They're just so
Mr. President.
wrong.
So that's the first one. I love that. Here's the second one. He goes back and does this again.
Well, Mr. President, you said that if the Supreme Court said someone needed to be returned, that you would abide by that. You said that on Air Force One just a few days ago. And they said that it must be facilitated.
Why don't you just say, isn't it wonderful that we're keeping criminals out of our country? Why can't you just say that? Why do you go over and over? And that's why nobody watches you anymore. You know, you have no credibility. Please go ahead.
President Trump.
Like, can you blame this guy? Like, could we just really fast? And I'm sorry to take more time. Can we just he's fed up. How much more crap, especially from CNN? How many more mistakes? How many more lies? I had to make a list, Pat. Russia collusion. Okay, this is all CNN. Nick Sandmann case, lies. Jussie Smollett, hoax, lie. Hunter Biden laptop, COVID lab theory. Joe Rogan on horse dewormer. Trump's fine people line. January 6th. Kyle Rittenhouse, they lied. Hands up, don't shoot, they lied. The crying border kids photo, lie. The horse whipping at the border, lie. The most peaceful riots, lie. Fake COVID hospitalization overload stories. You guys remember that? Brian Stelter's disinformation segments. How much more? Are they never going to shift gears? Like, are they never going to stop? I get reporting. Hold people's foot to the fire. You are literally in the White House talking about one freaking guy who is an MS-13. Pat, we lived in Cali for how long? To get into MS-13, is it just you sign up and you join in? How evil do you have to be in this freaking gang?
Yeah, they have a form. You just go to DMV.
Exactly. It just boggles my mind that you're in the White House, the guy from El Salvador who had the most dangerous country, now he has the most safest, and that's what she's worried about? This one freaking guy? Eric, it drives me bananas.
You are 100% on it, which blows me away that she actually even asked that question, Chris. I mean, CNN management must have been like,
doesn't blow me away. She's
she's
a double agent because they love her in Trump land. They love her. She's got friends in that administration.
Course,
she gets access. She gets information
into that. She does CNN right into an ambush. I mean, they got smoked. CNN got smoked because Vinny points out all the things that CNN's lied about and gave Trump the platform to say, look at these assholes. We're deporting people who rape our women, kill our children, or vice versa.
Exchange,
and CNN, you want them back.
That exchange makes Caitlin Collins more popular with the media because she's the new Jim Acosta.
At CNN? Yeah. I got to think they're going to
be the media
saying,
writ
what
large.
The hell did you do that? Ask him a tough question he can't answer, not something he's going to absolutely lambast CNN and you.
But Jim Acosta, dude, if you think about it, the fake news was birthed by Jim Acosta, who's not even there anymore.
Vinny, I have a theory on that.
Yeah.
Trump first term didn't have the mandate and the swell and the support he has right now. He's got the American people behind him. He's got people like me, at least, on MAGA. But the first time, they were skeptical. They called him he was delusional. He's racist. He's this. And now he's got the American people. First time he gave Acosta a platform to raise his Q score, Acosta's Q score. He's not doing it anymore. He's smart. He's leg sweeping these people. I believe Caitlin Collins is probably on her last leg because of that. The 3 or 4 things she's done recently. But certainly, if I'm CNN management, I go, she just walked us into a slam dunk.
You can look at the ratings and you'll make your decision. That's what management does. But I'm telling you, within the media culture, going at Trump gets you dap, and it's going to help.
Going at him wisely, smartly. They alley-ooped. She gave him an alley-oop.
I'll give you the other side of it, okay? And then feel however you want to feel. He did say, "I respect court orders." Don't say that. I respect judges. Okay, 9-0. You got to bring the guy back and have that hearing. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. He put himself in the position to do that, okay? It's 9-0. You got to bring him back and give him the hearing. That's due process. They're the 2 most important words in the law. Do it, and then you have high ground. So she's not wrong to say, you said you were going to do that. It's 9-0. It's your court, and you're not doing it. That's not unfair.
That's not what she said, though, Chris.
That's not unfair.
Had you asked the question that way, Patrick, you asked Chris, what's the right question? Frame it that way, and then all of a sudden you and CNN look smart, holding truth to power. Right?
Fair. You want to be fair.
She says, "Are you going to bring back the Maryland man?" And she teed him up to
look. That's a bullshit way to ask it. And the media, especially in these settings, as we both know, that's a gotcha setting. Nobody's having a real conversation in one of these press scrums, and that's why Trump thrives in them, because he's a one-liner.
The only one who's done worse in the Oval Office in the last 90, 80 days or whatever it's been is Zelensky. Caitlin Collins is number 2 to Zelensky. Both got destroyed. Absolutely destroyed.
I think it helps her. Zelensky, that's apples to oranges. But Look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Why am I not covering this in a big way on my show? Because of Vinny's point, okay? I'm not in the business of defending gangbangers, all right? And why they do that with him, I don't know. You know what the next one's going to be? Is this Carmelo Anthony case. That is going to blow up in this country because it plays on race and perception.
Oh, yeah.
And the media is going to play it one way. The people are going to scratch their heads. I don't believe that Trump has the country with him, and I don't think this period we're in right now has helped him. But you know, we are very volatile right now, and people get angry real easy, and they get reasonable real slow.
And you made a great point, Chris. Look at who the Democrats' heroes are right now. An MS-13 gang member, Luigi Mangione, who shot and killed a father in the middle of the street, Mahmoud Khalil, who's a Palestinian Hamas propaganda freaking guy, and then Carmelo Anthony, who stabbed Austin Metcalf, and now not only did they take the bail from $1 million to $250,000, he's home and he's chilling. And you nailed it, Chris. If that was the roles reversed and it was a white kid stabbing a black kid at a track meet, forget it. That would have been the talk right now because there would have been riots in the streets, 1,000%. Yeah. So it's funny who they're representing.
I don't think it's a mistake by CNN. I think it's a playbook, because when I was sitting there watching this and I got my hackles up and I sat back and I thought for a second and I said, wait a minute, this feels like Trayvon 2.0. They're trying to get me to believe that this person is who it isn't. And they paraded out the young picture of what looked like a nice kid. And it turns out that wasn't the kid that was in front of the cop. It was the one that was tatted, that had trouble with the law. And no one wanted to talk about how did that kid get from that picture of that what looked like it's just a sweet little boy up to this guy who had been through all this stuff and was a much different guy that ended up in a scuffle that got him killed. Yet they want to gaslight me and get me to believe that the guy was there. And Obama, I don't have any sons, but if I had a son, it'd probably look like Trayvon. Sure. What was that, dude? What was that?
Mistake.
And I feel like
that's what it was.
yeah. You talk about walking into a fist. He walked into a fist.
Yeah.
And so this gaslighting that's here, and I'll tell you,
I don't think
when
it's
Zaz
gaslighting.
goes to the Allen Company conference, he's going to brag about her. Oh, she goes up against it. She goes really quick.
Yeah.
You should buy CNN. And by the way, she's on a rookie contract. She's really inexpensive. And we got rid of all the other bigger contracts, right? That's how they're going to do it. And CNN is on... Man, they have not only jumped the shark, they're for sale. And everybody knows they're for sale, which is the part that shocks me. They live in the echo chamber. They love her inside the echo chamber. Oh, you're our girl. You're a tough girl. Boy, look at you. Inside the echo chamber, they love it. But outside, you're right.
And she plays MAGA, by the way, because she used to work for the Daily...
Tucker. Yeah,
Daily she used to work for Tucker. Yep. She's from Alabama. You know, and look, I worked with her. She was a good reporter. She had deep
she was a great
reach into Trump world. Okay, I don't know who it is or why it is, but she gets a lot of access from them and a lot of information, and that was what made her appealing. I like her. I get what she's doing there. I get what the play is. The problem is the ratings. And at the end of the day, you're only as good as your number in that business. People liked me. People didn't like me. I was number one. I was number one at CNN. Every month, I was number one. Yeah, but it's Anderson Cooper's house. True. I'm number one. Yeah, but Jake Tapper is going to be the guy who does the debates. I'm number one. You know, you are your number in that business. And if the numbers stay down, you're going to be gone. It's just how it is.
So you're saying she ain't going away anytime soon?
Well, look, based on the numbers, she'd be gone yesterday. It's all about what management
Where does she rank right now on CNN?
I don't know, behind Anderson. And sometimes behind Jake, who's on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Look, they got to figure out their numbers there. They're not unique in that position, but they definitely have problems in their primetime lineup. And that's okay. Business, people go up and down. They got to figure it out. I think the bigger problem is...
Is that really the amount of viewership she's got?
Yeah.
119,000, that's it?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
There's no way in the world that's it.
Yeah, that's a demo.
Yeah, but that's the one that they sell.
Right.
And look, I'd love to have that number.
Yeah, that's was it 18 to 54?
25 to 54. Now they're selling more often 35 to 54 because the marketplace is being forced to accept that it's really people our age who have most of their disposable income.
430, Bear 330.
I was original gangster on the 5. I was center seat on the 5 for 6 years. We were to O'Reilly. These numbers the whole cable news world is shrinking. These numbers are way down.
Yeah,
from,
there's
from back in the
stratification,
day.
and that's okay, because at the end of the day, there's still going to be a flight to value and curated audiences. My concern about the culture is we're just addicted to the division. You know, like you and I will both hear things like, oh, you seem like, you know, you're like buddies. Like it was bad enough with Pat and his guys. Now Eric Bowling, we are a culture of division. People don't want to reward cooperation, friendship, amity, disagreement without being disagreeable. They like the sides.
Well, this is interesting. Well,
They like the
you want
sides.
to bring
Go
something
ahead.
up?
Go ahead. What do you got?
I think you're clearly the best on News Nation. Clearly.
I'm the best sitting next to you right now.
News Nation is cast to pick a side. They haven't picked a side. We're news for everyone. And
I'll get fired if I pick a side.
Right. I contend.
I will.
That
They'll fire me.
That's why News Nation can't make ground
It's true.
on Fox, because people want a side.
That's right.
And News Nation wants to be all the news for all the people, which is admirable. But we're in a bifurcated world right now.
Eric,
and
where
it's
are
not
you?
getting
You're now where? You're with the Red Sea Ventures.
well, Red Sea was bought by Fox Corporation.
Right, I saw
so
that.
my digital portion is with Fox now, but my cable portion is on Real America's Voice and YouTube and Rumble. We're live there as well. So I own the show, but I license it to Rav and also license it to Fox.
He's in the right place entrepreneurially. And the country, you got to bet on the country getting past the parties. That's my bet.
I agree with that, yeah.
And it's not opportunistic. I mean, this is where I am. I don't like the parties. I never have. I say the same thing on Pat's show all the time. If your name's Cuomo, I'll vote for you. If you run as a Democrat, I'll vote for you as a Democrat if you need me in the primary. But I hate the parties. They are the problem in our
Can
culture.
Stephen A. Smith get the support of Democrats?
Yes. I think he can.
Even with his...
Now, he won't get it if I have anything to say about it, because I care about him too much. And I don't want to see him get chewed up by that system, because they'll start coming for him. Right now, he's on the ascendant, and I think with good reason. I love Stephen A. I love what he's about.
Smart guy.
And
but he's pick and choose the issue. He's not straight blue.
yeah, but that's the way you got to be. That's the way we are everywhere else in our life.
Can you
except
get
our
elected?
politics.
Listen, I think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. should be the next president. I really do. But people on my side, MAGA, don't like that because he comes from a Democrat place. And we've become so bifurcated. The country is just going wider and wider apart. They don't want to just beat the other side. They want to destroy. They don't want to see a 2-1 baseball game. They want to see a 12-0 blowout no-hitter.
But I believe those are the fringes. In our everyday life, where you
That's
are,
rating, though.
Where I
That's
am,
where the ratings are.
No question. No, I'm not arguing that point. You win. What I'm saying is I'm betting on something bigger than that. That there are more independent critical thinkers in this country than we let on. Look, Pat's...
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
They voted for Trump, though.
Some did, yeah.
Well, most.
Some did.
More than half.
Some did. Why? Because he's a known quantity. And what was going on with the left, mostly from a cultural perspective, because I believe they got baited into a fight that they couldn't win, was more removed from normal than Trump.
The left.
Yeah.
The left became so crazy.
Let me ask you guys a
weirder
question. Let me
than
ask both
Trump.
of you guys a question. So Stephen A. Smith, say he ends up running, okay? Will he have more momentum? Will he have more momentum running as a Democrat or as a Republican? Forget independent. I'm saying Democrat or Republican.
Democrat. He can't run as a Republican. MAGA's going to hold. Yeah, but who's the heir to Trump? Is it J.D. Vance? Is it Don Jr.?
Eric Trump?
Or one of the other Trumps? Who knows? Could be Ivanka Trump for that.
Who knows?
No idea. But the throne right now is in MAGA's hands. I'm not Republicans at all. Throw out Republicans. No one even cares about the Republican Party anymore. It's the new conservative party is Trump's party. It's MAGA. It's what we are. Stephen A. Smith, great. He would be a better disruptor of the left for us than actually running on our side.
A lot of you have been asking about the cigar lounge that you want to come to it. And we've been having back-to-back-to-back. This last Friday was the biggest event we ever had at the cigar lounge, which was fantastic. However, grand opening is this Thursday night. And this is what we're doing. Thursday, we're not doing a podcast in the morning. Thursday, we're doing a live podcast at our comedy club at Cigar Lounge, $59.90 live. Tickets are being sold. It'll be myself, Vinny, Tom and Adam, live audience, come on down. Bar opens at 6. If you get there at 6 p.m., you buy tickets, no matter whether you buy the regular ticket, the general, the premium, or VIP. If you get the ticket and you're there early, we're going to give private tours of the cigar lounge and then bring you back in the room, and the podcast will start at 7 p.m. It's going to be it's going to be, if you've been to it before, it's a spectacle. It's incredible. The energy, the vibe, the announcements, different things that we do, and a lot of people networking together. But that's the QR code. The website, Rob, if we can give them the website so some of the folks on Spotify can go to it as well. I believe it's
boardroomcigarlounge.com.
Boardroomcigarlounge.com. Go a little bit lower so it gives the details. You'll get the tickets, so go lower, Rob, lower for the tickets. There's general, premium, VIP, 100, 250, 500. VIP, you get a chance to actually go afterwards to the cigar lounge, and we'll be with you guys. And we're doing it Thursday instead of Friday because Friday is Good Friday. So Thursday, we'll celebrate it together. Come on down, bring a friend, network, join the rest of us. We'll have a good time. If you've been to it before, typically the people that have been to it before, they know VIP sell out immediately. This year we have fewer VIPs because platinum members get first on those seats. So if you want to have a VIP seat, hurry up and place your order, and we'll see you guys Thursday night.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.